Hi students, welcome back to today's class. Now we are going to see that is next step 6, extracting data from the result set. Okay, so we have seen four formats how we can fetch the records individually from the result set. Okay, from the cursor object. So fetch all, fetch one, and fetch many, and then row count is used for displaying the number of rows, how much we have retrieved till now. Okay, so that is going to be issued from the row count property. Okay, so now we are going to see with the help of examples, okay, how these functions will be working. And for the following code examples, we shall be connecting to database test and table student that has the following data in it. Okay, so we are having the database test, that's table name student. No, it is having the following column names. Okay, roll number, name, marks, grade, section, and then project name. Okay, so how many records totally we have here? Totally 7 records. Okay, so based on the roll number we can identify that totally we have 7 records. So the following code examples assumes that connection to the database has been established using connect method and of mysql.connector as discussed in the earlier steps. That is, all the following code examples of fetch functions have the following code pre-executed for them. So like that we need to assume. So import mysql.connector as sql tor, and then mysql mycon is equal to connection object is equal to this name we are using dot connect. Okay, mysql.connector dot connect, that full name we need to give all the parameters and its values we need to pass it here, and the database name also we need to give. And if mycon is dot is underscore connected is equal to false, this function is equal to false means colon. This there is if condition. No, it should have colon because it is having a block of statement after this. If it is returning false, what it will be displaying? Error connecting to MySQL database. Okay, if it is true, it won't display this one. So it will be directly going for cursor object creation. So mycon dot, that is connection object dot cursor method we need to use, and this is the cursor variable. So now we need to execute the query that is available in the fifth step. So cursor dot execute, select star from student. Student is the table name. Okay, and now first method, fetch all method. This will return all the rows from the result set in the form of tuple containing the records in the form of tuple. See here, in the form of tuple only all the records are displayed. See here, fetch all the records 101 to 107 within parenthesis. Parenthesis only, all values will be displayed in the tuple now. So now here we will see the coding. This coding is written in the Python interpreter. In the first step we have seen no Python interpreter. In that we are typing this. Okay, so data is equal to cursor dot fetch all. After this statement, cursor dot execute select star from student, we need to continue this. Okay, so data is equal to cursor dot. Okay, this cursor name only we need to use continuously here because this cursor instance only having that entire result set. No, because the select start from student is assigning the value where in the cursor instance example. Okay, variable. So data is equal to, the data is a variable here, will store the retrieved records from the result set in the form of tuple. So in the form of tuple, these records are going to be displayed here. So data is equal to cursor dot fetch all. Okay, and then count is equal to cursor dot row count. So how many records till now we have returned? That row count also we are displaying as the first statement. So first print statement, total number of rows retrieved in the result set, within double quotes we are giving, after that comma, that count variable we need to pass it here because this row count property, it is returning the number of counts, number of records we have returned fetched from the student table. No, that is going to be counted, displayed here. 7 is displayed here. And then for displaying the data, because row by row we want to access, no, we can use for loop. For row is a variable, loop variable what we are using here now. Okay, so for row in data, so from data that entire result set is going to be passed here, and one by one the value is going to be the record is going to be identified, and colon. After this for loop we need to give the colon, then new block is started. So print statement, using print statement, that row is going to be printed. So the first row, then second row, then third row, like that it will be going on until it reaches the last record. Okay, so now cursor dot fetch all result was stored in the data, and the data is displayed with the help of the for loop here, and you can see the result also. The cursor dot row count result will be 7. Okay, so here the data is written row by row with the help of the for loop. Okay, Now it is returned as a tuple. That is also you need to understand here. And fetch many method. So here we need to pass count. Okay, how many records we want to extract. So data is equal to cursor dot fetch many within parenthesis 4. First to 4 records is going to be printed in the data variable. Okay, so data variable will store the retrieved records from the result set in the form of a tuple. So a tuple of records are going to be displayed here. Okay, so the number of row count also we are giving here, and that count is printed. The same coding only, instead of fetch all we have given fetch many within parenthesis 4 we have passed. So that 4 is printed here, and the first 4 records is printed here. So the cursor dot row count returns how many rows have been so far retrieved through fetch methods from the cursor. It will be showing you the count. Okay, how many records so far it has retrieved. Okay, now fetch one. The fetch one method will return only one row from the result set in the form of a tuple containing a record. So a pointer is initialized which point to the first record. Okay, so here in fetch one method a pointer is automatically is initialized. That is, initialized means it will be assigned with the first record first. Okay, and pointer will be pointing to the first record of the result set as soon as you execute a query. The fetch one returns the record pointed to by this pointer. When you fetch the one record, the pointer moves to the next record of the record set, result set. So next time if you execute the fetch one method, it will be returning only one record pointed to by the pointer. After fetching, the pointer will be move on to the next record of the result set. So here pointer is playing a major role in a fetch one method in order to move to the next record. So also carefully notice the behavior of the cursor dot row count that always returns how many records have been retrieved so far. So far, it is not returning only for first statement alone. It won't give the row count value. So far, how much was retrieved from the records were retrieved from the that student table is going to be counted by this row count. Okay, by using any of the fetch methods. So fetch one method here we used count is displayed as 1, and print data, that record alone is going to be printed. Here now we are not using for loop because we have only one record we extracted. No, just we can straight away we can print that data, that record alone. Okay, so no need to use for loop. When we go for loop, if we have sequence of data, sequence of values, collection of values in one after other way, we need to go for this print for loop, and we need to print the help of the for loop. And then again fetching one record, cursor dot fetch one and cursor dot row count. Now it will be adding previous count and the current count. So 1 plus 1, 2 will be displayed here in the second result. After again fetching one record, then again fetching another record, then 3 will be added there. Okay, see here. Now we'll see one big example with the full coding from the beginning. So from first statement, we need to import that library, and then that library is called in the name SQL Using that, we are calling the connect method and connection object we have created. That connection object is connected correctly or not. It is checked with the help of is underscore connected function. If it is false, it will be double equal to we need to give for comparison here. We should not use single equal to, otherwise it will be assigned here. We need to use double equal to for comparison. Okay, this is comparison operator here. Okay, and print error connecting to MySQL database if it is returning false as answer. Okay, then cursor is equal to mycon dot cursor. Cursor instance is created, and then in this cursor instance the result set is extracted fully. That from that result set, so with the help of the cursor instance, we are using the fetch one and fetch many and fetch all also. Okay, so here fetch one, 2 records are extracted. Now fetch 3, totally 5 records. See here 1 and then 2 and then 5. So first count will be 1, second count will be 2. So the previous count of that this count is going to be added, and 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus now 3, totally 5. So that 5 is going to be counted here in the last. Okay, now seventh step is clean up the environment. After you are through all the processing, so every processing if you completed, then this is the final step. You need to close the connection established. So whatever connection till now we have made, that connection we need to close it. So for that, the same connection object we need to write. So mycon dot close method we need to call. So following example, list the complete code wherein only first 3 records of the database table student of MySQL database test are listed row by row. Okay, see the coding is given. Okay, only first 3 records are displayed here. with the help of this, and then mycon.close we have given. Okay, so the same coding you can type it in the MySQL, that is Python interpreter, and you can run it, and you can connect to that MySQL database, and you can run it, and you can extract the values like this. Okay, so for this reason only, this interfacing with Python is very useful. So in order to connect to application software, that is Python application programming with the MySQL database, we are connecting with the help of this codings. Okay, and parameterized queries, next topic. So in the previous section, we have learned about how we can execute simple SQL queries after establishing connection to the MySQL database. Now, parameterized queries means we also can give commands, no, conditions, no, like where class we can use, okay, where condition, okay, true, and connector and or connector and all, we can use it for checking the conditions. So that is only known as parameterized queries. So based on some values or more values, some more parameter values we can give in the query, and based on that we can extract the record, and that values alone can get displayed. Okay, so that kind of queries we are going to see first. Okay, so in the previous section, we have learned about how we can execute simple SQL queries after establishing connection to MySQL database. But SQL queries that were used were simple queries. So till now what we have seen were simple queries only. Sometimes you may need to run the queries which are based on some parameters, okay, or values that you provide from outside. So for example, INP, that is input, is equal to 70. I am assigning here. That is going to be used here as a parameter, and in this where class. Okay, so select star from student where marks greater than INP semicolon. This like we can give, no. So in this here one parameter here passed. Okay, based on this condition, the data are extracted from the table and it is going to be displayed. For that, how we can do it, we'll see to that. Okay, so such queries are called parameterized queries. Okay, so we may need to run queries which are based on some parameters or values that you provide from the outside. This is known as parameterized queries. To execute parameterized queries in a MySQL.connector connection, we need to form a SQL query strings that include values of parameters. Let us talk about how you can form such query strings. Okay, so forming query strings. So this example already we have seen. Okay, and then we are going to pass the string templates. We are going to pass it here. So old style first we will see string templates with percentage formatting. Okay, so this first one format and second one is percentage value. Okay, and this style string formatting uses this general form, that is F followed by percentage and then B. This is the general format for old style. Okay, and this is the format and this is the value. Okay, so where F is the template, so here this is known as template string, and V specifies the values or values to be formatted using the template. So this is one model. In this model, what values and all we need to supply, okay, that we need to give it after this percentage symbol. So if you see one example, then you will be understanding this paragraph. Okay, let me read this paragraph now, and then again we will see the example. Again we'll come back to the same paragraph and we will understand better way. Okay, if multiple values are to be formatted, okay, multiple values if you want to substitute in this string, no, and one for template will be given here, like a lengthy template will be given. In that, some places will be you need to be filled with these values. Okay, so if you are passing multiple values or multiple values are to be formatted, v must be given as a tuple. So these values must be given inside the parenthesis as a tuple. That means tuple means, you know, no, if you are passing only one single value in the tuple, that value followed by comma we should give, then only it is taken to be a tuple value. Okay, otherwise it is treated as integer value. Okay, so for this you can write the SQL query in a string, but you use a percentage yes, but you use the percentage yes code in place of the value. So percentage yes code in the place of the value we are using, and to be provided as the parameter. See, select star from, see here, select star from student where marks greater than percentage yes. Within double quotes we have given here. Okay, this means it is a parameter and its value must be provided. So this is actually parameter here. This value we need to pass it. Okay, so the above string is an incomplete string. Only F and no percentage value here. Only F alone is given, that is template alone is available. So we need to pass the value for this. Okay, so this percentage yes need to be assigned with some value. Okay, so no percentage value here as it contains a placeholder for the parameter as percentage code. Percentage yes alone is available, but its parameter value is not provided here. To complete it, you must provide a tuple of values with percentage prefixed to it next to the string, so called the value tuple. So percentage v we need to give, see here like this, we need to pass the value. Now it is completed one, so this is f and this is percentage after v. Okay, so this one only they have given f percentage v, the string templates with percentage formatting. Okay, so like that, whenever we give some conditions, no, this should be given in this format, f followed by percentage v. In this format we need to pass inside the cursor instance. So cursor dot execute of we have used one execute query, no, inside that we need to pass in this manner. Okay, then only according to this condition the result set will be extracted in the cursor instance. For that only we are learning this parameterized queries. Okay, so if you want to provide a value 70 for percentage yes placeholder, see the in this placeholder we want to substitute this value. We have studied formal arguments and actual arguments. No, this is like actual argument, actual value that should be passed to this parameter. Okay, so that is called as that is called here as placeholder. Okay, so percentage yes placeholder we need to provide the value 70, and you can form the value tuple as follows. So how we need to pass the value, single value, because here only one single value is given here in this marks. Okay, so 70 comma we should give. If you are passing single value inside the tuple, the value after we should compulsorily give comma, otherwise this value is treated as integer value. Okay, so like a tuple only we need to pass it here. And now you can complete the above SQL query string as follows. The entire string is given, format is given, template is given. Select star from student where marks greater than percentage yes, within double quotes we need to give this, and then percentage after 70 within parenthesis 70 comma. Okay, so this is f percentage v format. Now you can execute store this query string in the variable and then execute that variable through the cursor dot execute. So just you save this in a, store it in a one variable, just pass this entire st to execute function, or execute inside also we can give directly like this. Okay, so now you can store this query string, this is query string fully in a variable st, and then execute that variable, execute this variable through cursor dot execute method. Okay, see here only 70 who and all, whose marks and all, no, from the test table, whose marks and all, student table and test database, whose mark and all greater than 70, their names and records alone is getting displayed. Okay, fetch all we have given. Even though if you have given fetch all, the query is extracted result set is having only the values or records which are satisfying the marks which is greater than 70 only. So greater than 70 marks alone is getting displayed here. So do not forget to enclose placeholder percentage is in quotes. Okay, in compulsorily inside the quotes it should be given, inside the double quotes it should be given. Don't forget. Okay, otherwise for string parameters in a string template. In the similar manner, you may add multiple parameter values also. See here where marks greater than percentage yes and section. So based on another condition also, section also B. So like that, if you are giving only that last 103, 106 alone will get executed. So where marks is greater than 70 and section should be B, like that we have given. So here marks is 70, no, 70 is a integer, so that we have given without single quotes. But B is a string, that is character. We should give within a single quotes. When you are passing as a tuple, inside the tuple integer values and all can be represented, that numbers and all can be represented in without single quotes. Okay, and with single quotes you need to pass the string values. Okay, so comma b we are giving that 70 is going to be copied in the place of first percentage yes, and in the second parameter, that is section, it should be enclosed within single quotes here, and here also single quotes. Okay, then close the double quotes here, that is for f. Okay, the template fully we need to close it here, and percentage after this is the value. Okay, so v tuple containing a number and a string value, number value and a string value. See, percentage is enclosed in quotes for a string value, so it should be closed in a single quotes for a string value, and then the entire closing should be given for the template. Okay, Then this st is passed here. Fetch all, if you are giving, only the two values are extracted. I said no. So above 70 means 4 records are displayed. From that we are giving another condition, that is section and section. And means both the conditions need to be satisfied. Then means B only is getting displayed here. Alternatively, you can provide the tuple with execute function. So in the same query string, we can pass it here inside this. So that method also we can see here. That means parameterized SQL query string we need to give as a first parameter, and as a second parameter we can pass the values also. Okay, so this values we can pass it as a second parameter. So let us see for this. So ROM 20 and ID 2. Okay, so input is equal to ROM comma ID. This is tuple, that is input. Okay, and query is update computer set ROM is equal to percentages. ROM is equal to 20 and where ID is equal to 2. Okay, so this you can pass it in the query. So query variable is passed here as the first one, that is F is here we are giving within double quotes, no, that only we are giving as a query here. Okay, query variable, and input is having values ROM and ID. That ROM and ID already assigned with the values 20 and 2. So the instead of the 20 and 2, we are just passing ROM and ID because it is already assigned with some value, no. So that input we can pass it like a ROM comma ID that is assigned as input here, and this entire query string is assigned here as a query. Okay, so this method also we can use it when we want to when we want to use the execute method with the help of these two values. Okay, query string and tuple we can pass it separately. And we have what we have seen for parameterized parameter, the previous examples was related to old style. Now new style of string templates with percentage formatting we will see here. There is positional parameters p1, p0, p1, and keyword parameters, that is named arguments, positional arguments we can use it. And we can use it template dot format method, we will use it here for the new style that we will see in the next video. Thank you.